alcohol and stuff, but now here we were men in a Hooters experiencing this for the first time, and it was great.
Aesthetically beautiful wings, taste is so mid, everything's definitely frozen. They're trying to keep the ship afloat, dude.
The food was not, it was not good. The food aesthetically looks very good. You could take photos of this food all day. Everything felt like it was just frozen. Not cold, but like it tastes like a frozen meal. So the food, I was, you know, I was like, I would not eat here. I'd come here and I would watch a game and get some Hooterade. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. The atmosphere was kind of fun. After a while, once you get a couple drinks in you, the place gets a little lively. But once again, I don't know what kind of day you were having, but guess what? This is a ranking, and it was just kind of like, I don't know. What do you do? Because Hooters is the namesake, we have to put them at the top. I have no other parameter of the other ones, so who knows? This could be the best, right?
How is the legacy brand going to hold up against the competition? That's what I'm worried about. That's 100% AI. That is 1,000,000% AI.
All I know is that we were there. We went to Las Vegas for Hooters and we conquered our goal. But then this is also it was a starting pistol for the rest of the trip. And nothing would have possibly prepared me for the monstrosity that was next, which was that of the Heart Attack Grill. The Heart Attack Grill is a restaurant in downtown Las Vegas that opened its doors in 2005 with the goal of serving catastrophically unhealthy food and promoting it specifically to obese customers. I fit right in. All while serving it to you with scantily clad waitresses and nurse outfits. This entire restaurant is themed around it being a hospital. The whole thing is that you are a fat piece of shit. If you weigh over 300 pounds, you get to eat there for free. They have a scale outside that you can step on. And then if you don't finish your food, the nurses spank you at the end, okay? And all the food is, I mean, it's crazy. They like all the milkshakes are like lard, like 50% lard. If you order wine or cocktails or something, they give it to you in an IV bag. And they're known for their octuple bypass burger. 8 patties, all right? And that's the biggest thing there. So when I went there, of course, that's the one that I had to get.
If you don't finish your food, you'll be spanked 3 times.
If we don't finish our food, we're going to be spanked. I understand I'm a fat piece of shit, disgusting, worthless piece of shit human. I don't think I'm finishing this food, if I'm being completely honest, if I'm being transparent.
When you go into the restaurant too, you have to put on a gown, a hospital gown, like you're a patient there. And I will say this, staff couldn't have been better. It was scantily nurse outfits and all that stuff. Couldn't have been a happier crowd I've ever seen in my life in there. And I will say that the branding and the atmosphere of the place, they did not hold any punches on the theming. And that's what I like. I feel like the restaurant is a mixture of, it's got to be kind of funny, and it's got to be like, you got to want to actually sit there for a while. And I think that like the bald guy who's the manager of the place or owns the place thinks he's way funnier than he is.
I bet he hard. Oh my God, he's a powerful.
In the atmosphere of the place, they did not hold any punches on the theming. And that's what I like. I feel like the restaurant is a mixture of, it's got to be kind of funny, and it's got to be like, you got to want to actually sit there for a while. And I think that like the bald guy who's the manager of the place or owns the place thinks he's way funnier than he is.
I bet he hard. Oh my God, he's a powerful.
In the atmosphere of the place, they did not hold any punches on the theming. And that's what I like. I feel like the restaurant is a mixture of, it's got to be kind of funny, and it's got to be like, you got to want to actually sit there for a while. And I think that like the bald guy who's the manager of the place or owns the place thinks he's way funnier than he is.
I bet he hard. Oh my God, he's a powerful.
In the atmosphere of the place, they did not hold any punches on the theming. And that's what I like. I feel like the restaurant is a mixture of, it's got to be kind of funny, and it's got to be like, you got to want to actually sit there for a while.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
He's got those weird like RFK abs. He's all red.
Yeah. He's in shape.
Yeah, he doesn't eat at this place.
So it's like pushed way to an extreme, but yeah, you have to give him credit for at least going that far. But it is daunting. Like, I mean, after sitting in there for a bit, you see that bald son of a way too much, and you're like, I need to get out of here quick. But a couple little things too. There's been many deaths, which is really fun when you go in and sit down to eat at this place that you might not be making it out. Like in 2011, the spokesman, Blair River, died from pneumonia, partly due to him being 570 pounds. So they would have spokespersons for a while. They don't do it anymore because they all drop like flies, which you could just say, you know what? Bad luck. It's bad luck. But in 2012, a year later, a patient, a customer, died from an actual heart attack while eating a triple bypass burger. Reportedly, customers thought that this was some sort of staged death, and according to Dr. John, who is the CEO, I actually felt horrible for the gentleman because the tourists were taking photos of him as if it were some type of stunt. Even with our own morbid sense of humor, we would never pull a stunt like that. Other customers in the restaurant were like, oh, that fatty's having a heart attack. And the guy was like, probably like, can you imagine dying? And people were like, it's a bit. And that same year, a woman in her 40s collapsed to the floor, unconscious after consuming a double bypass burger while smoking a cigarette and drinking a margarita.
Were you watching other people eating? There was one guy who grabbed like the mayonnaise and he just squirted it each bite, like oozing.
The whole thing too is that it is, once again, it's like a joke restaurant. It is like supposed to be stupidly unhealthy, but man, it was a sight to see. Also, I think they use like hospital lighting too, so it's very like sterile. It's just like the whole thing just feels kind of cold and I don't know. Also, one of them was a fan of mine, one of the waitresses, so I just want to say shout out you, appreciate you. And our waitress was really nice too. But let's get to the actual food. I want to say this, not good. When I say not good, I want to say my God, atrocious. So I got the octuple burger, and it was, I'm not even joking, it was like this big because they were all half-pound quarter patties, so it was 4 pounds of meat. They give you 40 strips of bacon, and there's 3 pieces of cheese on each burger. I tried to eat one of them, and I was like, I feel sick. They were all definitely like frozen burger patty, like the thick frozen burger patties that you would find at like a wholesale. Not fresh at all. It was so dry. I knew that I was not going to be able to finish the food, okay? But then I have to look forward to my waitress spanking my ass. They had like different degrees of like, do you want it soft, medium, or hard? She chose the hard one. And that last one stung, which is odd because it didn't have the biggest snap, but it did, and my ass was blistered for quite some time. I was also wearing basketball shorts, dude. Brutal. I mean, if I had to put the heart attack grill on anything so far, I mean, food, it doesn't even compete with Hooters. If Hooters is generic, I will take generic every day of my life. The atmosphere, while being fun, it's too much. I mean, it's insane. And then the waitresses and stuff, I guess for the flirty aspect, like it's a restaurant of like, it's scantily nurse outfits, but I didn't think it was actually that crazy. It's like, yeah, your shorts are up and they're like short skirts, but I didn't think it was anything too revealing. Yeah, I would say it's fairly modest. I don't know if that's changed over time, but I will say just compared to the Hooters thing so far, I would say this one is just way below. Way below. Does it feel too bad to just put it at last place immediately? Why don't we, just to be fair, I'll put it at 4th. You never know. But that takes us to our next place. That was our first day in Las Vegas, and after that, the heart attack grill about broke me, so we had to wait another day. But after that, we were able to start our day off with Ojo Locos at 11 a.m. right as soon as they open. And let me tell you, Ojo Locos is Spanish for crazy eyes. It's a restaurant and cantina created in 2010 in Dallas, Texas that incorporates the idea of waitresses wearing revealing clothing, black miniskirts, and low-cut shirts that show their midriff and cleavage. Ojo Locos, I want to say this is just referred to as Mexican Hooters. I didn't say that. That's just what people say. That is in quotations. Someone has said that before. It markets itself to that demographic. Servers are referred to as chicas.
Chica from Fortnite?
Chica from Fortnite? Or Five Nights at Freddy's? It was created by one of the original creators of Twin Peaks, Randy DeWitt. We're getting ready to hit 2 properties by the same guy. Pretty good. When we went into the Ojo Locos thing, we didn't realize well, first off, I just want to say we took a taxi there, and the taxi driver was like, I've been driving taxis for 20 years. I've never heard of this place ever. I've been driving taxis in Las Vegas. I've never been here before. And not only was it a restaurant, but it's also a casino, which we were like, oh, okay, that makes sense because the first place, the Hooters, it had the, it's just like a restaurant in the casino. This was just a giant restaurant, and then like very sadly, it was just split with slot machines. There's just something about people playing slots that's just the saddest. It has to be one of the saddest things, like going into hospice in a hospital and then watching like veterans in wheelchairs hit the slot machine doing like a little Hector Salamanca, like, you know what I mean, their wheelchair, tapping the screen and shit. We walked by the bathrooms. We were like, I don't know if this is the right spot because we didn't realize that we were going to be the first customers that day.
We were going to be the first customers today, and I don't like that either. I like coming into a place and there's already some people, you know what I mean? I feel like I can kind of hide. Now it's just going to be, there's the one people here, and that makes me nervous.
At 11 a.m., the waitresses were doing like a meeting in the morning, and they did like a chant.
I was gonna say like morning prep.
Kind of like a get ready for work, like, yeah, let's have a good day. And then we saw them, and I mean, to say lingerie puts it lightly. This was revealing, okay? Revealing. It blew Hooters out of the water. Woo! My God!
Easily, by far the most revealing outfits. Also, I feel like I can't look anywhere besides down. I feel